Welcome back to Easy English Boost. In this final part of our adjective series, we're going to explore 3 interesting and expressive types of adjectives. These adjectives will help you make your English more powerful, more emotional, and more natural. Today's topics are proper adjectives, emphasizing adjectives, also called intensifying adjectives, and exclamatory adjectives. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand how to use these adjectives correctly and make your English more expressive and confident. So let's get started. Now, let's understand proper adjectives. Proper adjectives are adjectives made from proper nouns. And remember, they always begin with a capital letter. These adjectives tell us the origin, nationality, religion, or style of something. For example, Japan becomes Japanese. We say Japanese food. India becomes Indian. We say Indian culture. Notice that Japanese and Indian both start with a capital letter because they come from the names of countries. So whenever an adjective is formed from a proper noun, don't forget to capitalize it. That's what makes it a proper adjective. Next, here is a list of common proper adjectives. Most proper adjectives are formed from the names of people or places, and remember, they are always capitalized. We can group them into different categories. Proper adjectives from people, proper adjectives from famous people, proper adjectives from religions, proper adjectives from places, like cities or regions, and proper adjectives from brands or organizations. Many of these adjectives come from the names of famous leaders, writers, philosophers, or religious figures. For example, Elizabethan, from Queen Elizabeth; Victorian, from Queen Victoria; Napoleonic, from Napoleon Bonaparte; Christian, from Christ; Buddhist, from Buddha; Shakespearean, from William Shakespeare; Edwardian, from King Edward; Maoist, from Mao Zedong. Let's look at one example sentence. She enjoys Shakespearean drama. Here, Shakespearean describes the style of drama related to Shakespeare. And don't forget, all proper adjectives begin with a capital letter because they come from proper nouns. Next, let's look at proper adjectives formed from places. These adjectives come from the names of countries, continents, or regions. They describe nationality or origin. And remember, they always begin with a capital letter. Here are some examples. Spanish, she is learning Spanish. American, he reads American literature. Japanese, they enjoy Japanese food. Chinese, she studies Chinese history. Australian, he has an Australian accent. Chilean, they visited Chilean mountains. Norwegian, she likes Norwegian culture. Jamaican, he listens to Jamaican music. Bulgarian, she met a Bulgarian artist. Iraqi, he follows Iraqi news. Afghan, they admire Afghan traditions. Haitian, she studies Haitian art. African, African wildlife is diverse. European, European architecture is beautiful. Each of these adjectives tells us where something comes from or what it is connected to. And don't forget, always capitalize proper adjectives. Here are some examples showing how proper nouns change into proper adjectives. Spain becomes Spanish. We enjoyed a Spanish breakfast. France becomes French. French bread is very soft. Italy becomes Italian. I bought an Italian jacket. Shakespeare becomes Shakespearean. He studied Shakespearean poetry. Africa becomes African. African music is very rhythmic. In each case, the proper adjective is formed from a proper noun and begins with a capital letter. This is the key rule to remember when using proper adjectives. Let's understand how to use proper adjectives. Proper adjectives can be placed in 2 main positions in a sentence. First, they can come before a noun. For example, Brazilian coffee is very strong. The Victorian house looks old but beautiful. In these sentences, the proper adjective directly describes the noun. Second, proper adjectives can appear after a linking verb, such as is, are, was, or were. For example, the dancers are Mexican. The dress is Japanese. Here, the adjective comes after the verb and describes the subject. So remember, proper adjectives can be used both before a noun and after a linking verb. Here are some important rules for proper adjectives. Rule 1. Only the proper adjective is capitalized, not the whole phrase. For example, German cars, Indian languages. Notice that only German and Indian begin with a capital letter. Rule 2. If a prefix is added, the proper adjective remains capitalized, but the prefix stays lowercase. For example, non-Asian brands, pre-Columbian cultures. The words non and pre are lowercase, but Asian and Colombian are capitalized. Rule 3. If the prefix itself comes from a proper noun, then it is also capitalized. For example, Afro-Asian relations. Here both parts are connected to proper nouns, so both are capitalized. Let's look at a few more example sentences. The Dutch artist painted a beautiful landscape. I love Thai noodles. That Persian rug is handmade. Let's move on to emphasizing adjectives, also known as intensifying adjectives. These are words that strengthen or heighten the degree of a quality expressed by another adjective. In simple terms, they make an adjective stronger. It's important to understand that emphasizing adjectives do not describe a noun directly. Instead, they intensify the meaning of another adjective. They add extra force, extra emotion, or extra emphasis to what we are saying. This helps our English sound more expressive and powerful. Here are some common emphasizing adjectives, also called intensifying adjectives. Very, extremely, absolutely, completely, totally, highly, deeply, remarkably, incredibly, exceptionally. These words are used to make another adjective stronger. They add intensity and emphasis to a description. For example, instead of saying good, we might say very good or extremely good. By using these intensifiers, our sentences sound more powerful and expressive. Let's look at some examples of emphasizing adjectives in sentences. The task was extremely challenging. She gave a remarkably clear explanation. The solution is absolutely correct. He is highly skilled in problem solving. The movie was incredibly emotional. In each sentence, the emphasizing word strengthens the adjective that follows it. Instead of simply saying challenging or clear, these intensifiers make the meaning stronger and more impactful. That is how emphasizing adjectives add power to your English. Emphasizing adjectives can differ in their degree of intensity. Some show a lower level of strength, some show a medium level, and others express very strong intensity. Let's look at the levels. At the lower intensity level, we have words like quite, fairly, and rather. These make an adjective stronger, but only slightly. At the medium intensity level, we use very, really, and highly. These add clear emphasis and make the description stronger. At the strong intensity level, we use words like extremely, absolutely, and completely. These show a very high degree of intensity and make the statement powerful. Understanding these levels helps you choose the right word depending on how strong you want your sentence to sound. Let's look at how intensity changes meaning. The room is quite warm. The room is very warm. The room is extremely warm. Notice how the meaning becomes stronger each time. Quite shows mild warmth. Very shows stronger warmth. Extremely shows very strong warmth. Now, let's understand the placement rule. Emphasizing adjectives are placed before the adjective they intensify. For example, she is deeply concerned. He gave a highly convincing argument. The words deeply and highly come before the adjectives concerned and convincing to make them stronger. Let's understand the usage context of emphasizing adjectives. Emphasizing adjectives are commonly used in descriptive writing to make descriptions more vivid and detailed, storytelling to create stronger emotions and dramatic effect, persuasive speech to convince the listener more effectively, reviews and opinions to express strong feelings or judgments. academic and formal writing to highlight importance or seriousness. For example, the results were highly significant. It was a completely unexpected outcome. In both sentences, the emphasizing words make the statement stronger and more impactful. Using these correctly can make your speaking and writing sound more powerful and professional. Now let's learn about exclamatory adjectives. An exclamatory adjective is a word used before a noun to express a strong feeling or sudden emotion. These emotions can be joy, surprise, anger, admiration, or sadness. Exclamatory adjectives are used in exclamatory sentences. They help us show strong emotions in a powerful way. Let's understand the structure of exclamatory adjectives. The pattern is what or such, plus an article, plus an adjective, plus a noun, and an exclamation mark. For example, what a remarkable achievement! Such an unfortunate incident. In these sentences, the exclamatory force is mainly created by the words what and such. These words trigger the strong emotional expression. The adjective adds description. So remember, what and such create the emotion, and the adjective describes the noun. Together, they make the sentence powerful and expressive. Let's look at some example sentences of exclamatory adjectives. What an inspiring speech! Such a careless mistake! What a shocking revelation! Such an impressive performance! What a disastrous decision! Notice how each sentence begins with what or such. These words create strong emotion: surprise, admiration, disappointment, or shock. Now here is an important note. A sentence like, "The event was fantastic." This is descriptive, not exclamatory. It describes something, but it does not express sudden, strong emotion using what or such. So remember, if there is no what or such at the beginning, it is usually just a descriptive sentence. Now, let's understand the difference between an exclamatory adjective and an exclamatory pronoun. An exclamatory adjective modifies a noun. It is always followed by a noun. For example, what a day. Here, what comes before the noun day, so it is working as an exclamatory adjective. Now look at an exclamatory pronoun. An exclamatory pronoun replaces a noun. It is not followed by a noun. For example, what? That's shocking. Here, what is not describing any noun. It stands alone and expresses surprise, so it is an exclamatory pronoun. Remember the simple rule. If what is followed by a noun, it's an exclamatory adjective. If it stands alone, it's an exclamatory pronoun. Now, let's look at the types of exclamatory adjectives based on emotion. First, positive emotion or praise. These adjectives express admiration, happiness, or appreciation. Some common examples are impressive, magnificent, exceptional, admirable, splendid. These words show strong positive feelings. For example, what an exceptional result. Here, exceptional expresses praise and admiration. So whenever you want to strongly appreciate something, you can use these positive exclamatory adjectives with what or such. Now let's move to the second type, surprise or amazement. These adjectives express shock, wonder, or unexpected reactions. Some examples are astonishing, unbelievable, remarkable, startling. Example, what a startling discovery. Here, startling shows sudden surprise. Now the third type, admiration. These adjectives express beauty, appreciation, or strong liking. Some examples are elegant, graceful, stunning, charming. Example, what a stunning design. The word stunning shows deep admiration. Notice something important. Surprise shows shock. Admiration shows appreciation. Both use the same structure, what a, but the emotion is different. Now, let's look at two more types. Fourth, excitement. These adjectives express strong excitement, energy, or thrill. Some examples are thrilling, electrifying, exhilarating. Example: what a thrilling finale. Here, thrilling shows excitement and high energy. Now the fifth type, negative emotion. These adjectives express sadness, anger, disappointment, or shock in a negative way. Some examples are terrible, dreadful, horrible, disastrous. Example: what a disastrous outcome. The word disastrous shows strong negative emotion. So now you've seen 5 emotional categories: positive, praise, surprise, admiration, excitement, negative emotion. All of them use the same exclamatory structure, what a or such a, but the feeling behind them changes. What exclamatory adjectives are not? Let's clear some common confusion. First, not all emotional adjectives are exclamatory by themselves. Just saying brilliant does not make it exclamatory. It becomes exclamatory only when used with what or such plus a noun. What a brilliant idea! Exclamatory. What idea is this? Interrogative. This is a question. Important point. Even though the word what is used, it does not always mean exclamation. Sometimes it asks a question. Second, exclamatory adjectives are not interrogative. If the sentence asks for information, it is interrogative. Example: what idea is this? This is a question. What an amazing idea! This expresses strong feeling. Third, they are not comparative or superlative by form. Words like better, best, worse are comparative superlative adjectives. Exclamatory adjectives do not depend on comparison. They depend on emotion. Let us see the correct usage rules. Now remember these important rules. 1. Always use a noun after the adjective. What beautiful! What a beautiful scene! 2. Use what or such to create the exclamation. What a wonderful performance! Such an incredible moment! 3. End with an exclamation mark. It shows strong feeling. 4. Do not confuse exclamatory adjectives with exclamatory pronouns. What a surprise! What modifies surprise? Adjective use. What? Here what stands alone. In this video, we have learned what adjectives are and explored descriptive, emphasizing, and exclamatory adjectives with clear explanations and examples. Now you can confidently use different types of adjectives to make your English more descriptive, expressive, and powerful. This completes our lesson on adjectives. Keep practicing, keep learning, and keep improving your English every day. See you in the next lesson. You've done an amazing job today. If you're still watching and haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, like, share, and subscribe. Learning English is easy, fun, and exciting with Easy English Boost. Stay tuned for the next video where we'll continue our journey to master English together.